All right, Zatima fans, this is the big video you've been waiting for, my season 1 overview. I'm going to talk about the good, I'm going to talk about the bad, and the downright amazing. Season 1 was definitely a very good season. Now, is it the best Tyler Perry thing I've ever seen? It's at the top, I ain't going to lie. I'm going to be completely honest. It was not perfect, but it was still worth it. Every episode each week. Oh yeah, we deserved it. But I don't know if I came up with like a score for it. I mean, if you want to like take every score from each episode and then average it out, which I'm too lazy to do. I remember the first week giving a bunch of 10s and then the second week maybe an 8 or something or a 9. If I remember correctly, episode 7, I gave it a 7. I think that was like the lowest score I gave because I felt like the drunk Zach scene went on a bit too long. So that was like the only scene of the entire season. I'm like, I don't think that scene needed to be as long as it needed to be. But last week, I was actually lucky enough to have a Instagram live interview with both Nathan and even Tony jumped in there. So we had 2 of the cast members talking to me on Instagram. I do want to put the video on YouTube. Here's the thing. On Halloween, there was this huge Instagram bug that millions of people were either suspended or unable to access their accounts. I just got access to my one of my accounts a couple of days ago. So that's one thing. So basically, you know, when it comes to Instagram Live and whatnot, you have to save the live stream in order to put it online. The live stream was over 2 hours long. It was like an hour and 48 minutes. So as you can imagine, it's a pain in the ass trying to download the entire live and then repost it on YouTube. So I will post that interview. It is coming. But for now, you can go to Instagram and watch it yourself. But I do know some people prefer to just watch it on, you know, YouTube. So pick your poison. So regardless, in that particular interview, it was brought up a way to look at the scene so it doesn't feel like it was dragging. But the way in which the scene was shot, it makes sense in the context of Zach being drunk. And as someone who has never been drunk before, I can't really relate to this. But when you're drunk, it's like your senses are kind of like slowed down. So the world around Zach felt slow. Hence why it was supposed to be seemingly dragging on, seemingly awkward. As you can see, Bryce becoming more and more unraveled as Zach, you know, started to say, and you know, things and get undressed. So that makes sense. Still was the only scene of the season I kind of felt meh about. But other than that, very, very strong show. Okay, so I do have a list in front of me, things that I really want to pinpoint or highlight as the, okay, this is what made this show so great. Other things I felt like, I don't think they made the show bad, because obviously I have far more praise than nitpicks about the season. I mean, if you watch any of my episode reviews, one of the things I really want to say is, kind of like, bruh, these episode reviews were some of the most fun ones I've ever done, you know, because I feel like with some of the shows, I really got to be like, okay, I got to be, you know, serious on my game. I crack jokes here and there, but when it comes to like the likes of Bruh and now Zatima, I just cut loose and have fun. I think that this is easily the best Tyler Perry project to come out of the Viacom era. Basically, you know, when his contract started with Viacom. So like I posted a lot on social media about this. I think Zatima season 1, first off, is better than all of Sistas put together. All 4 seasons of Sistas. I don't count 5 since we just started it. But even if you threw in the first 4 episodes of season 5, I think Zatima season 1 is better than all of Sistas. Now, don't get me wrong. Sistas walked so that Zatima can fly. Let's not get it twisted here. I mean, the Jackson 5 had to happen before Michael went solo. New Edition had to happen before Bobby Brown got kicked out and, you know, he took his every little step. So don't get me wrong. Sistas was essential to Zatima being a thing. But Zatima far outdoes it. Yeah, speaking of, like, like Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel, he was selling a hell of a lot more albums than New Edition. And of course, Thriller, let's not even talk about the record sales of that compared to the Jacksons or the Jackson 5 albums. But I think that Zatima, in a way, captures what the fans have wanted. Not only a show centering around Zach and Fatima, but a show that kind of course corrects a lot of the complaints we've had about Sistas as a whole. Things like pacing, dialogue, the uses of characters, not dragging on as much in terms of the storylines. It felt like things were moving forward. Sure, there are some moments where it felt like, yeah, I think that in some ways, some of the characters did regress, mainly Zach and Fatima, and how they handled certain things. But that's really towards the end of the season and kind of in the middle. Like, one of the things for me, if I had to pick a week that I felt gave me the most disappointment, it was week 4, episodes 7 and 8. Because it just felt like the Ian introduction, and no, I'm not against Ian showing up. It's just how things played out further. Things like the proposal scene and, Fatima flying off the handle, but then cooling down when it came to seeing Angela. It just felt like Fatima really wasn't acting the way she was before, where both Zach and Fatima apologized when they both cooled down, as opposed to, oh, I'm mad, Zach, apologize. So I think that week was kind of the most disappointing for me, even though we had good stuff like Jeremiah and, seeing more family dynamics between the characters. So I really like that. So, let me see here. Another thing that some fans were kind of thrown off by, and I've said this time and time again, it's not at the fault of the actor. It's in terms of the story itself and the writing, where Bryce came out of nowhere and he was basically Jake 2.0. Like I said plenty of times, I don't know the behind the scenes reason. I only can speculate, so don't take what I say as the gospel truth. I'm thinking 2 things may have happened, or one of 2 things. And like I said, speculation. Number 1, the actor that plays Jake was unavailable. He wasn't available to film Zatima. And as a result, Tyler had to course correct really quickly and substitute Jake with a stand-in, Bryce. Simple as that. These things happen. Or number 2, perhaps the actor that played Jake on Sistas wasn't comfortable with some of the bisexual scenes that Tyler wanted to put into Zatima. That's it. That's all I got. Like I said, it's speculation. I don't know the reason. So when I saw the first couple episodes, I'm like, wait, he's talking exactly like Jake in terms of the SEC. He works for Gary. And it's like establishing that he and Zach have known each other for a little bit of time. So mentally, we got to be like, okay, take Jake, everything we know about Jake, place that in a box and put that box, in the trash can or something. And in its place, insert Bryce. He's dating Angela. He works with Gary. He's been helping Zach about, financial stuff. So, yeah, that was kind of a hard pill to swallow. Again, not a fault of the actor. It was the circumstance of, it's kind of like if we watched Sistas season 5, and then in episode 1 of season 5, Andy was played by Nia Long. Just a random change. It's like, Nia Long, fine as hell, just like KJ. But we've been following KJ as Andy for 4 seasons. Even though, of course, Jake wasn't in the show as long, obviously. But that's the character we've grown accustomed to. So it was a bit off-putting for the fans. Because even now, there are people who are watching Zatima for the first time like, Jeremy, where's Jake at? So, yeah, like I said, I don't know. But that was kind of like the first thing I'm kind of like, yeah, this is going to be a hard pill to swallow because we're just used to another character. All right. But I think that some people felt like instead of, just recasting or replacing Jake with another character, maybe they could have just recast Jake in general. Maybe that would have been a better option, possibly. Because I guess Bryce, I do like how it's different for him, where he's more outspoken and he'll run his mouth compared to Zach. Like, Zach is the one who has like, yo man, what'd you say that for? Where Bryce will just say anything, even if it's awkward. So it's kind of funny. But regardless, yeah, the Bryce thing was something that kind of was off-putting to some. Okay, I feel like I'm talking about the bad stuff first. The proposal. I feel like this was a letdown, and because of the fact that this was a moment Zatima fans have wanted for so long. But number one, I think it came too quick. When we saw the proposal in the trailer, the season 1 trailer, oh man, it was like, yeah, this is going to happen at the end of the season. But then when we got to it, it was just not right. It felt like the pacing of it was off. It felt like Zach only did it to show Karen that, oh yeah, I'm only interested in you. I mean, not Karen. See, oh Lord, I'm turning into Zach. Fatima, that I'm only committed to you. And it just felt like, hey, I know you're mad about the Deja thing, but here's a ring. And then, of course, you know, her becoming more like one of the sisters, where she's letting her own insecurities get in the way of something good that's going on in her life. When she invited Ian, that was like, if I were Zach, I would not have pulled out that ring. It's like, you literally stepped on my moment, which was supposed to be our moment, by bringing your ex into the equation. And like I said during that week, and DeVal posted that recently too. Okay, what would y'all be saying if Zach brought Karen to the restaurant the night he proposed? Or even Heather as well. Look, if you're all in, this is what you got to deal with. One baby mama. Well, at that time, he didn't know. So 2 potential baby mamas. Are you down for that? But no, Fatima is allowed to bring Ian to show, this is what happens when I don't let anybody back in. They're no longer part of my life. And that just felt so messed up. So not only that, while the pacing was good, I do feel like certain things about this show were overshadowed because it was 10 episodes. So it's like, I feel like Tyler might have crammed a bit too much. I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but Jeremy, earlier you said it's a good thing that the show has better pacing. It has a shorter runtime. It doesn't have 22 episodes, less characters to focus on. True. But the thing is, there were some big things that went down in season 1 that I don't feel got the time or screen time that it deserved to be fleshed out a bit more, like the Belinda thing, you know, or her fine ass. But, yeah, we really could have used a scene. What was it? Was it 4, right? 4 was the episode where Fatima took the shot at Belinda. Before Angela came over there and, you know, started running her mouth to Zach to talk with Fatima upstairs, we could have used a scene. It didn't even have to be a long one, where you had Belinda on the phone after she left the house and she had called Angela, giving her sob story about how Zach tried to come on to me. And as a result, you know, Fatima flipped because she misread the situation. Like, I was the one that started something, and then she fired a gun off in my direction. So then when Angela came over with an attitude, it would have made more sense why she was acting the way she was. And I feel like that scene could have actually been inserted by trimming down the Bryce and Zach scene in the backyard. While that was funny, while Bryce was kind of like, wow, you have guns in this neighborhood, and that, you know, it was funny. But I feel like that kind of scene would have added more weight to the friendship dynamic between Fatima, Angela, and Belinda, because it felt like as the episodes went on, it seemed like Angela and Belinda were still, you know, in contact with each other, even after Angela found out about the whole, wow, Belinda lied to me thing. It just felt like she's, what did Fatima say? You're a people pleaser, you're too nice, and you're not able to see the truth when it's in front of you. So it could have been some interesting dynamics going on if we had really seen Belinda giving her lie, but her side of the story to Angela, to see how, I guess you could say, manipulative she is as a person. And it really begs the question of, okay, going into season 2, what's the dynamic between Belinda and Fatima, especially now that Fatima is engaged to Zach, and the last time these two saw each other, the last time Fatima and Belinda saw each other in episode 7, there was no love lost between the two. So It's like Belinda, who doesn't feel like she did anything wrong, not to mention sending the message with the photo of Deja and Zach to Angela and Fatima to try to show this nigga ain't no good for you. We need to go back to being friends. He's coming in between us, when in reality, you were the one who was trying to come in between their relationship. So what's Belinda's purpose moving forward? I hope she's in season 2. I think she's in season 2. But it's just like, where exactly does that friendship dynamic go from there? Same thing with Nathan and Zach. They're going to patch things up, but well, first Nathan needs to tend to his nose. So yeah, I feel like there were certain elements of season 1 that could have been expounded on a bit more, perhaps in season 2, since it's going to be a longer season. But I do feel like, yeah, certain things, we didn't need drama every single minute of the episodes. Like the final 2 episodes, it felt like the proposal was overshadowed by Nathan's hot tub session with Deja. And then the whole Bryce being bisexual thing, it kind of overshadowed the moment of the proposal. And there really wasn't that much time at all to just sit and be happy for the couple. Because then at the very end, it's the whole, oh, Zach is a baby daddy already. So, yeah, I don't know about that. It's kind of weird. But overall, this was an introductory season. It makes sense. I mean, not every question is going to be answered. Not every problem is going to be solved. But at the same time, a handful of situations could have been given the time they needed in order to really flesh out the characters more. But for the most part, yeah, some characters got more shine than others. But at the same time, I think we've seen enough of every character outside of Zach and Fatima to get a feel for who they are, what they're about. And then as we get into season 2, we're going to go even further into these characters. So that's what I really can't wait for once season 2 comes around, probably in maybe early 2023. I don't know when, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, also, like I pointed out, Fatima letting her insecurity get in the way. I think because Sisters came out at the same time, I really don't think that Sisters season 5 should have come back as quickly as it did. Zatima should have been given the time it needed to thrive. Fans have time to watch the show, binge it, and then Sisters comes out maybe mid to late December, if not January 2023. Because so far, season 5 has not been good. We did not need Sisters back this quickly. No, but we got it anyway. I think that seeing Fatima's attitude shift so drastically has been off-putting for a lot of fans. Not a lot of fans, but let me put it this way. The louder fans are the Fatima stans, so they don't give a crap. Everything is Zach's fault. Hashtag blame it on Zach. Sheesh. But when it comes to Fatima, she's justified. Deja this, Heather that, Karen that, Zach this. No, Fatima been tripping. Fatima, for me, it's gotten to the point where it's her way or no way. She's never wrong. Her feelings are always justified. Zach needs to be a man and shut things down. I don't like this. She's literally becoming Karen. She literally is becoming Karen. I'm not going full on Zatima in here where, oh, Zatima did this. It's began in Zatima, and Sisters is really upping the ante in how they are portraying Fatima as a person, and I don't like that. So really, those are all the nitpicks I have about the season. So let's get on to the good shit. The plot! The ladies! I have never seen a more lovely cast of women. Now, somebody did point out, Jeremy, the Oval has some beautiful women. That is very true. The Oval on Tyler Perry's The Oval has a very, very, very huge cast of characters. And a lot of them are beautiful women. Victoria, Simone, Jean, Sharon, Nancy, Priscilla, Ruth / Denise. I guess technically those are 2 characters, even though they're portrayed by the same actor because they are twins. Lily, the doctor that Jason had in season 3, I believe, who he relieved himself on, which was pretty damn nasty. You have a lot of other cameo characters too, like attractive women that Hunter's attracted to. And the look, I could be up here listing all day. So obviously, in terms of numbers, yes, the Oval has, double if not triple the amount of fine ass women. But I will give it to Zatima due to the fact that, well, since it's a smaller cast, each one of these women have time to shine. So I will say Zatima is the one that had me going hot damn. Holy crap. Valerie, Lori, Belinda, Fatima, Angela, Gretchen, Deja. I don't count Heather. Here's why. Not that she's unattractive. It's her personality. It's the personality, the reason why she's not on my list. But the actress that portrays Heather, fine as hell. Instagram. There you go. But yeah, in terms of her personality, that's my thing. Like, it's kind of like when I was a kid watching Disney and whatnot. Ashley Tisdale. You got Sharpay on not House of Pain, High School Musical. And then you have Maddie on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Same actress. If I had to choose one, it would be Maddie because she's sweet. Sharpay is too bougie and uppity and full of drama for me. So for me personally, yeah, I'm more, it's kind of like Tia and Tamara on Sister Sister. Tia, for me, you know, she was smart, studious, kind. Tamara was the party girl, not my kind of chick. So yeah, you can be fine as hell, but if the character's personality isn't my type, nah. Deja, fine and bad as she is, I'd love to be a Deja daddy. No, Deja is the girl you want to, you know, party with, go out, have a good time. But someone like, I don't know, Gretchen will be the girl I want to come home to, you know? It's the fact that Gretchen is one of those girls to where she is stern, she's driven, but I think deep down, she wants a real man. Like, I don't know, personally, when she was like, no one's ever talked to me like that, I'm like, is she kind of turned on by Zack right now? I know we didn't really go into that, but I do feel like perhaps being one of the first, like, cases she's worked on where the man or the person in general wasn't, like, intimidated by her or, you know, jittery. She was kind of like, wow, I've never met anyone like you before. But she was kind of written off so quickly, we really didn't have time to explore that. But Valerie, or Shady Val, again, fine as hell. First woman that we actually saw Zack go like, yo, hey, look, you fine, but I'm already spoken for. Oh, okay. Too bad. So, but then again, no, what was her name? Not Simone, I forgot her name. Kay Singleton portrayed the character. She was the realtor in Sistas who actually sold the home to Zack. She also was attracted to him, but, you know, he said, hey, I'm actually, you already have a lady friend, so there you go. I do feel like, the ladies really brought it. The guys too, yeah, the guys, y'all were cool, but the ladies, Lord have mercy. It's like each episode, bam, bam, bam. I'm like, damn, Tyler Perry, you, all these fine women. Like, there have been times where I scored episodes higher than I should just because, you know, Deja, you know, she was doing this, or, you know, Lori, she had that freaking bat, you know, Gretchen, man, the way she was rocking that blue dress. I mean, the list goes on. So yeah, the ladies, hell yeah. Can't wait to see what season 2. I mean, hell, you can bring back the same women. I don't give a shit. Like, you ain't even got to add no more. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. Sorry. My lips are dry. I'm thirsty as hell right now. Okay. Going back to what I said before about the season. Short, sweet, to the point. 10 episodes, each around maybe 28 to 36 minutes, give or take. So each episode ran its course. It did what it had to do. And I'm so glad we got 2 episodes per week. You know me, I was heavily against any more than, I was heavily against every single episode being dropped at once because for me as a content creator, it would have killed my ability to do videos. I would have only been able to do the 10 reviews, an overview video, a prediction based on the finale, kind of, you know, maybe no more than 15 videos total, unless I really wanted to break down scenes and whatnot. But giving us 2 episodes a week, it really allowed the show to shine because each week the show got a lot of traction online. People talking about Zack, Fatima, this friend, that friend. It really helped the show be more than just a, you know, a hot pocket. I think that Bruno Mars or somebody said this about music in general, where you know, we want to go back to the days where we could take an album and really milk it for all it was worth. Nowadays, people are used to getting the entire album at once, and it's so disposable. Like, you listen to an album, then that's it. As opposed to appreciating the singles, the album, the tour. Nowadays, it's just like, you know, Hot Pockets, where Hot Pockets, you know, you can make those quick, fast, in a hurry. But if you want a quality pizza, you got to put it in the oven. So nobody wants to do that. They want that quick, fast, in a hurry kind of product. So with Zatima, looking at how well it's been doing in regards to going #1, Amazon Prime, BET Plus, the high ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, and just in general, the show has been well received. And I really love the fact that the hard work of the actors and the cast and crew really paid off. Like I said, I was skeptical of the show when it was like first revealed, like how quickly they had filmed it. The fact that it was like, what, 10 episodes, and I'm like, yeah, well, it makes sense it got filmed so fast compared to like a Ruthless or a Sistas due to how short the season is. But at the same time, after learning that, you know, DeVal and Crystal really took the cast under their wing to train them before they even said lights, camera, action, I just really felt like, oh shit. Well, given that we know DeVal and Crystal worked their butts off on their characters and how well received they are on Sistas, knowing that they had a hand in training up the crew and the cast for Zatima, now I'm really excited for it. And the end result proved that, yep, you know what? It worked. So it gives me even more faith in the future of the series. Like I said, if you really want to go more in depth for behind the scenes stuff, check out the interview I did with Nathan and Tony, because they really gave me some cool insight as to, you know, how things work behind the scenes. Because, you know, I've always said one of the things I loved about doing interviews back in the day was learning about the behind the scenes stuff, where even if I wasn't too crazy about a character or a certain, like, you know, season of a show, when I learn behind the scenes stuff, it makes me appreciate it more. Like, oh, so that's why this happened, or that's why, you know, this character was killed off or something like that. Then I understand it better. But regardless, I do feel like, you know, Zatima was a labor of love. And when I say labor of love, not even necessarily the labor itself, because it felt like everybody involved gave their best performances. I didn't feel like there was one particular character who I felt like the acting was, you know, stiff or whatnot. Like I said, Bryce, his personality was kind of like weird and jittery, but I think that's who the character is supposed to be. I know the only thing unsettling about him is the way he goes, yeah, baby, yeah. And I'm like, yo, is this Austin Powers? But I like that because it was funny, because it goes back to what I said before about his characters being that, like the awkward guy, the odd man out. And I am interested to see what they're going to do with that character and his dynamic with Zach after, you know, he violated him. So I'm very curious to see what Tyler Perry has in store for Bryce in season 2. And like I said, the pacing, pretty damn good. I love the fact that this show is so bingeable, where you can like watch it in a matter of like maybe 5 or 6 hours, give or take. Hell, I pretty much talked about everything on my damn paper here. So to really wrap up the video, you know, the timeline confusing as hell. That's the I get it, because DeVal did mention in that live he did with Crystal, like, don't worry about the timeline, don't worry about continuity, you know, different universes. And the easiest way to think about it is Zatima takes place when you're watching Sistas and you're like, I wonder what Zach and Fatima are doing off screen. That's when Zatima takes place. And now that more Zatima content is making its way to Sistas, you know, that's the best way to kind of keep the universes separate, but also combine them, if that makes any sense, even though I don't think it did, but I had to say it because that's the way it formed in my head. I do feel like it would have been better to write both shows together as opposed to the whole different universe thing, because now it's like, okay, Fatima told Deja about the hot tub beatdown in this week's episode of Sistas, but it doesn't seem like Zach and Fatima are engaged yet in Sistas, so it's not really adding up. But regardless, yeah, this really isn't too big of a burden, but as someone who loves continuity and tying shows together, I think timeline would have been better that's more consistent, but that's just me. But I guess you could put it this way. Giving that Zatima so self-contained and it's slowly bleeding into Sistas, really can't complain that much. Because at least when you watch Zatima, it's like, okay, at least I know we ain't got to cut away to Maurice and Q or Karen and Danny. We can just focus on, you know, Zach and Fatima. So that's a good thing in itself. They got enough drama as it is between their friend groups and their families, which I do find interesting how we had the introduction to Zach's brother in Zatima, and now we're about to have the introduction of Fatima's cousin, Madam, in Sisters. So in season 2, I believe that's when we're supposed to meet, like, you know, their parents and whatnot. So I feel like that's going to be something to really look forward to as a whole. But yeah, you know, to really wrap things up, because yeah, I've been up here for like 30 minutes. I know for like more in-depth discussion, guys, that's what my Zatima playlist is for. I did episode reviews for every flipping episode. I did a bunch of theory and discussion videos. The best theory was the Nathan was the father of Heather's baby. It wasn't originally my theory. I got it from a commenter on YouTube, and I gave that person credit in the video. So even though I can't remember her name at the moment, I think it was like Tequila something. Even though I don't remember her full username here, I did give her credit in the video. But I took her idea and then I like supported it by giving all the different evidence from the season to showcase that. Now, I don't know, Nathan might be the baby daddy, but turns out he's not. But this was definitely fun. I feel like Zatima has been the show I've had the most fun with in a while. The show that I've watched week to week, anticipating what's going to happen next. And yeah, like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was definitely the show that I was the most excited to watch, you know, as it was released on BET Plus, because lately it's just been a matter of some of these shows feeling like chores because the quality has really dipped. But Zatima felt like a breath of fresh air to really rejuvenate my faith in Tyler Perry's writing ability, which I've always known he had, but it felt like a lot of the projects, you know, he put out were lackluster in comparison to some of his earlier work. But Jazzman's Blues, Zatima season 1, that has me going, okay, this is the Tyler that I've been waiting to see for like almost half a decade again. Like, give me this Tyler. Like, go ahead, write this stuff that has me thinking, write this stuff that has me going, he still got it. So aside from that, yeah, just thanks to the wonderful cast, you know, haven't had this much fun interacting with cast members in a while. Like, you know, everybody I've spoken with has been very, 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 very polite, very kind. Hell, a lot of the cast hit me up before I even hit them up. You know, like I remember seeing that article in the cast photo where all the cast behind the scenes, but, you know, a lot of them followed me before I followed them, and, you know, just hyping up the show itself, because I don't think there has been a Tyler Perry project where fans have wanted a trailer and release date more than Zatima. We were agonizing, you know, well, we were in agonizing pain for that trailer, because remember, in December was when they filmed season 1. That's when like news of the spinoff broke. So then to have to wait all the way to like what was it, late August for that trailer and release date right before my birthday. Holy crap. So when we finally got the product, I was happy. And I mean, even though the promo run was kind of iffy, but like I said, it makes sense that Tyler was focusing more on Jazzman, because that's a Netflix film. That's a script he's had for almost 30 years. And he knows that the fan base for Zatima is strong enough that it would carry the show. And along with the interactive cast, yeah, Zatima went #1 on 2 platforms for a reason. Because, hey, the fan base is that strong. So to actually have Zatima be released and then the following day, Jazzman, I mean, Tyler's looking at one of his highest, you know, rated shows by fans. Not in terms of like ratings, but in terms of like, well, audience percentages. Well, no, actually rating, yeah. #1 on BET Plus and Amazon Prime. And, you know, Jazzman's Blues is like the first Tyler Perry project, I believe, that's been, you know, whispers of Oscars. So, or Academy Awards, or whatever the correct terminology is. So, yeah, I'm very hopeful that Tyler Perry gets his accolades for 2 very strong projects. And I hope Zatima and Jazzmans are a beginning of a new era of Tyler Perry. An era where every project is something we anticipate. Every project shows quality in terms of the writing and the acting. So, yeah, overall, Zatima Season 1, it's up there. I don't know if I would put it above like the first couple seasons of the Haves and the Have-Nots, but it is definitely a top-tier Tyler Perry project. And based on what I've been told, Season 2 of Zatima is going to be even better, even crazier, and it's going to be longer. So, yeah, this was definitely kind of like the prologue, and I can't wait to see what Season 2 has in store. So, just again, congrats to Crystal and DeVal for putting in the hard work to make Zach and Fatima fan favorites, leading to the spinoff. Congrats to all of the cast members who were introduced in this series. Also, the amazing crew who made the show, you know, what it was behind the scenes. And of course, Tyler Perry for writing, directing, and believing in Crystal and DeVal's ability, because the proof is in the pudding. So with that being said, those were my thoughts on Zatima Season 1. And if you're bored, it's like between now and Zatima Season 2, check out the Zatima playlist. I think it's over 200 videos at this point. Episode reviews for every single episode. Lots of discussion topics. And maybe I'll do like a Season 2 prediction video. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.